The Radio Wammo Breakfast.
Issues of the day under T-Radar.
Issues indeed with T-Radar joining us via live Skype video this morning. Hello to you, T-Radar.
I've got an issue with my tea.
Your tea? What's wrong with your tea?
Well, in this cold weather, if you leave your tea just slightly too long, it chills down, so it becomes that sort of tepid, slightly creamy sort of thing.
Yeah, with the milk sort of sitting on top.
Yeah, it's just not pleasant at all.
Well, you have to make yourself another cup after
And don't
this.
you love the surprise with the fact that people go, oh, it's cold, look at the record cold temperatures, and go, well, yeah, it's winter.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
It does. Yeah, we get surprised every single time. It's like it'll be summer and we'll go, whoa, isn't it hot?
Absolutely. Been a wonderful sort of debate going on in some internet forums in the States about whether or not air conditioning is the great contributor to global warming. You know, and whether or not it's enabled people to go and live in all of these inhospitable places. And now the fact that, there are people, say, in India and China and whatnot becoming far richer, they're all going to want air conditioning. It's not really something we have in New Zealand, is it? No one really installs air conditioning in their houses.
But nor did we build houses that were good for this environment either.
No, that's essentially right, really. We got some bits of wood and we nailed them together, and that really seemed to do the job. Mostly it kept the rain out until the... I guess the late 80s when it all fell apart, and after that, yeah, not suitable at all, really.
I just wondered if all the new immigrants arrived in the summer and this place is great, and they quickly built their houses, and then went, oh,
and really, all they had to do at that stage was keep the rain out, because I think it did rain quite a lot. Nonetheless, there we are in them, and many of us now, of course, even though it's not simply the cold that gives you the flu, people are catching the flu. Wonderful sort of study was done during the swine flu in Wellington about public health and all of that kind of thing, and the researchers ended up, while researching, being absolutely flabbergasted and disgusted with the state of the Wellingtonians and their sort of ignorance of basic hygiene. They sat at the train station, watch people sneezing and coughing into their hands and spreading germs.
Those nasty germ spreaders. But I mean that's how we build up our immunity. I mean, if we were all sheltering ourselves from these bugs, we'd be very sick indeed when we got them. That's
right. That's what I've always said. A healthy kind of, all those people who go around and they buy all those antiseptic wipes and all the antiseptic spray and they disinfect everything. It's not good for them. Doesn't help. And then who knows what's in those chemicals? I don't know.
Well, we're creating superbugs with those hand sanitizers, apparently.
Probably, of all the things in the world that worry me, global warming, I suppose, the fear of Taupo erupting, which they had on the news last night, I reckon the top one on my list, the superbug.
Yeah.
Going to a hospital and there's some kind of bug, because that's what bugs do.
Yeah.
They just hang out, figuring out ways to circumvent all the other ways we've got of stopping them, and becoming stronger and more powerful.
That's how
and they have time on their side.
Yeah. Well, they're just going to keep on multiplying and be around for forever and keep on adapting. That's the way they're programmed, T-Radar. But then again, so are we. We're programmed that way as well.
And in fact, many people say that as far as the Earth goes, we are like a virus, gradually destroying it.
Yeah. Did
you see? I don't suppose you saw the news last night. Where they had a big sort of special report on the possibility of Mount Taupo, the Taupo Lake erupting.
I did see that. There was another story just to make us all scared.
Because I'd driven past it the day before and we'd stopped and we'd had a big look down it as we drove around the western bays there and thought, oh, what an enormous hole. But the best part about that was they interviewed the guy, I think, from Taupo Airport, and they went, so if there's an eruption, will there be flights? And he had this kind of look on his face as if to say to the reporter, well, no, there won't be, but the smile that he had suggested, because we'll all be dead.
Yeah, because what that item failed to actually really say was that the last time that erupted, it was cataclysmic, it was catastrophic, it was the biggest explosion the world had ever seen.
And here we are going, will we be able to fly? Will that be possible? Will the roads be closed? How will we get to work in our casual attire? Yeah, it was one of those reports where you just watched it and went, I don't really understand what the point of this is.
Yeah. A lovely story this morning coming out of Winton, T-Radar. Tell us about this.
Look, I'm heading down that way myself in the next couple of weeks down to the lovely bottom of the south. One of those strange, it's almost as odd as the sort of the virus thing in a way. People get this thing called, can't think of what it's called, strange accent syndrome or something, where they wake up and suddenly they're speaking with a different accent. For example, the woman in Winton, she's woken up. I think it's happened gradually over a period of time, and they suspect it's caused by a lesion or something in the brain. But now she's speaking with this quite delightful sort of Irish, Scottish, North London accent, which is very confusing. You know, friends hang up on her when they ring up and they're expecting her with a wonderful Winton accent, probably with that long sort of R they have down in Gore, in the Gore area.
Yeah.
And instead of having that, she's going, "Oh, hello. Yeah, oh, it's good to hear from you." And she's got this wonderful, you can see it on the internet. She's going, you know, people say, "Where are you from?" And I say, "I'm from Winton." And they go, "No, your mother must have been from somewhere else." It's,
well, so everyone else around her starts speaking that way as well.
A bit like Jim Bolger, really. Remember that? When he was he would always pick up the accent from people and have this kind of odd sort of accent whenever he was addressing foreign dignitaries.
He was meeting the Chinese president. Oh, no.
That's right. You know, and it's that one, there was a woman, I think, in the UK who picked up a Chinese accent, and you wonder, is it that sort of terribly racist sing-song accent, or is it just... I thought at one stage when I'd read it that she'd picked up Chinese, and I thought, well, how does that happen?
Yeah.
It
makes you think, T-Radar, about past lives and the possibility of past lives, and whether or not this brain injury was awakening the remnant of a past life.
I suppose it does. You know, there was the other guy who picked up the piano. He didn't pick up a piano. He picked up the ability to play the piano. Imagine if it happened to you, Wammo. Imagine if you picked up an accent and here you were hosting Kiwi with some kind of Eastern Slavic carry-on.
If you were to pick up an accent overnight, T-Radar, what would you prefer?
Oh, maybe something Scandinavian. I don't know.
Yeah?
No, I know. Newfoundland. A Newfie.
Well, how's that sound?
I can't remember, but they're really good. But I just know they're like that kind of Canadian, but a little bit Scandinavian. They're totally odd. Look, I'll have to find out and have it for you next week.
I think
Newfoundland accent.
I think I'd fancy something French or Italian. You know, something traditionally sexy.
Well, I find the Newfoundland one sexy in a kind of oddly charming and slightly goofy kind of way.
Yeah.
You know, like that broad Canadian accent. It's like that, but it's got this sort of Scandinavian lilt.
We were talking about the news last night. There was also an old chap, a 90-year-old, just turned 90, and he teaches music at some schools.
Yes, I've seen him.
But he had spent a lot of time in Canada, but I think he was English. But anyway, spent a lot of time in Canada. But he kept up the air thing going on. Air, buddy, air.
Yeah,
buddy. I thought that was like a South Park kind of takeoff of Canadians, but it's real. They do go.
Oh, it's real. Yeah, and they have that they have it at the end of the sentence, eh?
Eh? Yeah, the A.
Exactly. See. Whereas we use it as kind of an A, they have it as a sort of an inflection at the end. An accent's wonderful.
Yeah. Finally, T-Radar, just on the live video stream there, we can see that you are wearing it looks like a nice sort of black pullover.
Actually, it's a sort of a dark chocolate with a bit of a V-neck and a T-shirt on. Quite casual, my attire. I was formerly just wrapped up in my robe, quite warm, but I took that off so I appeared slightly more formal in a work environment. And I can see from you, you've got a lovely flannelette shirt on, very comfortable, quite casual. And for a second, earlier on, I thought you were wearing a skivvy, but it was your headphones draped down around your neck.
Yes.
I thought to keep you warm.
Well, this is my work attire.
Apparently 84% of people in New Zealand say workplace clothing is becoming more casual, and many of them saying perhaps a little bit too casual.
Too casual? So, what like people like walking in and budgie smugglers, or? No,
I guess, just wouldn't it be good if you had a job where you could do that? I No, I have got pants on this morning. That's good. Just making sure. Not summer anymore. Yes, apparently, and there's even a society called the Wellington Dress for Success. Robin Radomski said she's the president of that, and she said she's noticed this very casual dress standard, and people are sort of up in arms about it because they feel that it's sort of letting everyone down. There's not a lot of pride in it. Whereas I think it's just that New Zealand way of going, well, if we're going to go and do our job, we might as well feel fairly comfortable in our tracky dacks and our warm skivvies.
Yep, good point. All right, well, you feel comfortable there, T Radar. Don't feel the need to dress up every Tuesday morning.
Well, I know. I've just come back from Wellington, where I've spent the week dressing up in the evening in my costume for the show, which was this lovely Edwardian, a waistcoat, a cravat, a lovely shirt, and some pants and high boots. And I'll tell you what, Wammo, I felt bloody good about it.
Good.
Yeah, I recommend it to you.
Good on you, T Radar.
We'll speak again.
We will. Thanks very much.